Wine. It's simply crushed and fermented grapes. The variations and the stories are what make it so fascinating.
As an AVA, I started just learning that it's such a diverse AVA. There's so many microclimates and terroir. I just felt like it was a good choice for Cabernet Sauvignon.
The climate, the soil, the amount of sun.
We do manage our canopies differently on the morning side of the vine versus the afternoon side of the vine, because in the afternoon it's so much warmer. We leave more leaves for more shading, whereas in the morning side of the vine we get more exposure because they're not exposed. That way they get the light without the intense heat.
There are so many varieties of grapes, and then different clones and different rootstocks. And perhaps even more important than any of this is the story of the winery, the winemaker, and the people who love these wines, their philosophies, and the different ways that they bring their reverence to the grape.
Unless you own land. So at that point he's like, well, that's it. Because they were kind of like, should we build a winery? Should we buy land? Like, we can only do one or the other. So they bought 40 acres on sort of
The estate vineyards for Kitski.
They're all here
Okay.
On this property for Kitski, and then we have a separate vineyard that's out. It's not in Candy Mountain AVA or Red Mountain. It's right across from the Red Mountain AVA in like Lower Yakima Valley.
Yeah, I grew up on a small farm about 20 miles from here, and met my wife in college, and her dad had this very successful large farm here. I thought I would be a banker or work for some agriculture company. I majored in ag econ.
Our goal at Crush Grape Chronicles is to explore and chronicle the grape, its many stories, and its journey from dirt to glass.
I was looking at the maps of your vineyard and noticed that you've got like a vineyard with Syrah, and you've got Phelps, and you've got Tablas. So it's one of the Tablas clones that you're growing up there?
Yes. Yeah. So those were really the only, so the first clone ever available in Washington State, I believe, was Joseph Phelps. So there's a lot of that planted around here. Then I think Sarah Lee clone came on, or maybe that was after Tablas. But yeah, when Tablas became available, we decided to just try and plant it, and they're totally different.
Yeah.
Joseph Phelps is a much more sort of elegant styled Syrah. It's got more like those herbal characters, very lean. The Tablas is very wild and savage and fruity and just like all over the place. So it's fun making, and I do about probably 7 different picks in that vineyard over the course of a couple weeks, and I keep clones separated and picks separated. So our main Syrah from that vineyard, even though it's one Syrah, has a lot of these different picks and clones, and so it's fun wine to make.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Syrah, it's so different by site too. There's so many things that can affect it. So
yeah, Syrah is very malleable to whatever touches it. So I definitely call it like the winemaker's wine, because you can pick it from late August to early October. You can, there's so many things you can do with it. And I think that's why it's been made in too many styles. So people just don't get what Syrah is. And ours is a pretty traditional style. So a lot of people come in, they're like, I don't like Syrah. And I'm like, just try our Syrah. And they're like, this isn't Syrah. I'm like, yes, it is. Yeah, so it's fun, and I call it kind of the hot climate Pinot Noir, because it is very just all over the place sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
excellent.
It's one of my favorites.